Hey everybody, Tony D. Little Jones asleep on the couch. Just gotta let her be. We're gonna do rip through some headlines. The rest of the headlines that aren't about immigration. Um, First up, the beer virus. Uh, 246 fully vaccinated Michigan residents get the beer virus. 3 die. And this is from the New York Post, so they're pretty reliable. As many as 246 Michigan residents who were fully vaccinated against beer virus later tested positive for the deadly bug, including 3 who have died, according to a new report. The group, whose cases were reported between January 1st and March 31st, tested positive 2 weeks after receiving the last dose of inoculation, a health official told the Detroit News. Some of these individuals may ultimately be excluded from the list due to continuing to test positive from a recent infection prior to being fully vaccinated. I thought you weren't supposed to get vaccinated if you had the infection already. I thought that's a general rule of vaccination. But this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. Look, again, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but can we be smart about the vaccine? Yes, people who are in danger, old people, people with comorbidities, they should get the vaccine. Absolutely. Give them the vaccine. Don't wait. Get the vaccine. Because, this is a deadly virus to you. But for most other people, healthy individuals, say under the age of 60, the chances of you being harmed by this disease are very, very small. They're very, very small. They're less than 1%. I played Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. Do you know how hard it is to roll 1%? Less than 1%? Really, it's really 1 in 1,000 for most people, maybe 3 in 1,000. That means you would have to take 1, 2, 3, 4 10-sided dice, right? No, 3. 1 in 1,000. So, yeah, 1 in 1,000. Actually, it'd be 1 in 10,000. Or 3 in 10,000, let's say. 5 in 10,000. So you'd have to take 4 10-sided dice, right? 4. If you rolled 9999, that would be 99,999, right? You would have to roll 0, 0, 0, 3 zeros, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know how hard that is? You know what the odds are? I played Dungeons and Dragons for most of my life. And I maybe twice rolled a 1 in 100 chance. Twice, maybe. Out of thousands of rolls. Twice I rolled double zeros. Or 0-1. Those are 1 in 100 chances. We're talking about rolling 3 zeros and then a 1 to 5. Maybe. Depending on your health and your age. Really, it's a 1 or 2 or 3. The odds are astronomical for most people. Most people. So, this vaccine needs more work. And they're doing it. I'm not saying they're not, but it needs more work. It needs more work. And we need to have real scientific consensus here, not effing politics. It's too much politics around this. You have to let it go. All right? You just have to let all the politics go. Stop trying to make money on this thing. Stop making it about Trump. Okay? Trump had perfectly valid suggestions. They were perfectly valid. Okay? He didn't tell you to inject yourself with bleach. He didn't say that. He did not say that. And as always, Trump is usually right about these things. So when Trump talked about maybe you could use UV light to kill these germs, they're already doing it. They're already doing it. When he suggested it, they had a thing on Twitter about a new process where you'd put like a long flexible light tube into your body and irradiate the inside with UV light. That's a technology we have. Seems simple enough to do. Why wouldn't we try it? The virus congregates in the neck anyway. So, Can everybody just calm down? I mean, look, you shouldn't freak out because of this, but this is a concern. You should be concerned about this. You should look at this and go, I want to hear more. That's all I'm saying. This video, what 60 Minutes aired versus what DeSantis actually said. This is from the Mark Levine show. I won't play the whole clip because it's about 3.5 minutes, but I will leave a link. Swear to you, I leave my link. Sometimes I have to go back and I go, oh shoot, I didn't put the link. But I will put the link in there. So watch this. If you saw the 60 Minutes thing, it's a very deceptively edited piece. This is almost as bad as when, what's his name, that comedian? Oh, I forgot his name already. Jim Jeffries and Avi Yemeni. He made him look like a Nazi, but Avi videotaped the whole thing, and he turned the tables on. This is almost that bad because they're trying to imply that DeSantis gave Publix preferential treatment, and he says in this response to the reporter that that's not true, and that he used CVS and Walgreens, and they cut every reference to CVS and Walgreens out of the clip. Every single one of them. And, you know, I understand why they cut down the clip. They weren't going to play the entire response from DeSantis, but it is a deceptive edit. This is exactly what they accused Project Veritas of doing. And here they are. I mean, here's the proof. What more do you need? The proof is right here. This woman on 60 Minutes should be fired. Everybody connected to this should be fired. They should be fired. They are not doing their jobs. They are misleading the public. This is misinformation at the highest level. 60 Minutes used to be the show to get information. Now it's come to this. Partisan BS. They are so petrified, Democrats, of losing in 2022 and 2024. They're already trying to tear down DeSantis. He's not even running for president. Trump may. They're so paranoid of losing, they're already going after people. And they should be paranoid, because if there's any fairness in the next election, the Democrats are going to get wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. And I will dance with joy. Greg Evans emailed me about the MLB move. And he points out, and I read this in a few other sources too, that they moved the MLB All-Star Game from Atlanta, a pretty high black population city, to, was it Denver? Yeah, to Denver, which has a much lower percent of black people, 51% in Atlanta, 9.8% black in Denver, on top of the fact that they already have voter ID laws in Colorado. So what is this really about? Well, I have a theory, and Tim Pool had a theory today. He has a video on the subject. Tim Pool's theory is a really solid one, and I got to give him credit for it. His theory is, and it's all speculation, that the MLB wanted to get out of its contract for whatever reason with Georgia, and this was a perfect opportunity for them to do so. Colorado may have offered them a better deal, and they jumped on it because it's simply about money. That is a solid speculation, I think, from Tim. That could be very well the situation. It could be both. It could be mine too. But my theory is Colorado is controlled by Democrats. Georgia, although you wouldn't know it, is controlled by Republicans, rhinos, I say. But they are Republicans. Therefore, my theory is they are trying to punish Republican states everywhere they can. And now Brian Kemp, of course, is now sounding like the biggest Republican of all time. Rallying the troops against the radical left, which he didn't seem to want to do during a certain election. During certain elections, plural. And Tim also breaks down some of the Georgia law, which really isn't all that radical in terms of, I mean, they still have drop-off points and which is, basically mail-in voting. So they are not really changing much at all. They're just shoring up the voter integrity law a little bit and requiring a little bit of ID. And they're acting like, oh my God, you're disappearing black people. Yeah, no, the MLB disappeared black people because they moved to a whiter city. I mean, it's just the hypocrisy. You can't keep up with it. You can't keep up with it. So thanks to Greg for sending me that comment. Feel free to send me comments. I am not a journalist. And sometimes I really don't have time to do research. I'm writing stories about, undead pirates and people hunting devils in the woods. So I don't have a lot of time for this research. But, I like to skim the headlines and spout out my opinion. Here's another hot topic today. Nike has not paid federal income tax since 2018. How do you like them now, woke idiots? Woke idiots. Oh, Colin Kaepernick is so brave. Oh, Republicans are so bad. They don't want to pay poor people. How many poor people did Nike pay? Other than potentially these slaves that work in their factories overseas, perhaps. I don't know if that's true or not. I've seen yes and no on that, but I believe they outsource through various intermediaries and do some kind of Chinese labor. But I'm not saying that for sure, Nike, so leave me alone. Tennessee Senate passes bill allowing to opt out of LGBT curriculum. Will move to House. See, you overstretched, and now this is what happens. You made it. You couldn't just stop. This is the problem again with the left. No limits. They cannot stop. They cannot stop. People were fine with gay people and LGBT and whatever. They were fine with it. They didn't care. You reached that point. You got the marriage. You pretty much had everything you needed. Everything you needed in a practical sense. Oh, but they still say things. That's not the agenda. That was never the agenda. People back in the 70s, when they were fighting for gay rights, they weren't like, oh, you have to accept us. You have to give us gay marriage. You have to give us legal representation. Oh, yeah, and you have to think just like us. They were never saying that last part. Okay? They just wanted to live their lives. And you've made it a thing. And I swear to you, these woke tards, they're mentally ill. They're mentally ill. The mental illness in this country, the weakness of these people on Twitter who won't stop talking about it, won't stop virtue signaling constantly. Look at me. I'm a good person. Oh, you're terrible. I'm good. I'm good by comparison. They won't stop. It's horrific. So, it is good advice to get off of Twitter once in a while. Because, man, that place. Phil Giraldi has an article on the UNS review, which I haven't read yet, but I am a big fan of Phil Giraldi. Would Israel blackmail a U.S. congressman should there be any doubt? Phil Giraldi is a really interesting guy. He's written a lot of articles for the Antiwar.com site. I'm definitely going to read this. I guess this is all about the Matt Gaetz thing. So check out that in the UNS review. It is an interesting alt media website. So look at that suit. Man, that's a suit, Matt. I don't believe that Matt Gaetz is as wacky as... I'm sure he's banging hot chicks. I mean, he's rich. He's a young guy. Is he married? I don't even think he's married, so who cares? Arizona expected to pass firearm freedom bill. Good for you, Arizona. Good for you. Ron Paul, vaccine passports might be the thing that makes people wake up and say enough. Yeah. From your mouth to God's ears, Ron Paul. I hope so. I really don't want a vaccine passport. I really, really do not want one. Write your congressman, write your senator, please. It's the very least thing you could do. It takes like 10 minutes. You just search your senator out, email him. Say, I'm very much against, just be polite. I'm very much against vaccine passports. Please do not pass any legislation for vaccine passports. Louder with Crowder was back up on YouTube today. I missed the beginning of it, so I'm not sure how. I guess they're still demonetized, as I am. And so they were talking about a lot of things, including Media Matters for America. I got sucked into Media Matters in the early days of the internet when I was still kind of a Democrat. Yeah, I thought they were good guys trying to fight evil racists and whatnot. Turns out, doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like they're just a bunch of partisan hacks who just go after Republicans no matter what now. Maybe they were good in the beginning. I don't remember, but I certainly wouldn't trust them now. Biden administration holds 500,000 contests to approve face mask designs. Okay. $500,000 if you can improve a face mask design. Yeah, why not just put it all over the head? There was a picture somebody pushed on the internet. A woman wore a total body mask. Like the head to toe was completely covered. And it was just fabric. It wasn't even like rubber. And then she had a mask on top of that. It was nuts. North Carolina bill would ban treatment for trans people under 21. Again, I'm fine with that. Maybe 18. Maybe 21 is a little high. But, you should be an adult to make that decision. That is an adult decision. And I don't see any reason for the rush. There's no medical reason you can justify, you're going to have puberty blockers. No, you don't. No, you don't. A few more years to make sure you want to make a major life change. A few more years to let your brain develop to make sure. Because there are people who are going to back out. There are people who, right now it's cool to be trans. I mean, it's the cool, hip thing to do. And there are gender trenders out there. But, so why not give them time to sort of settle into their lifestyle? What's the rush? You can still live like the opposite sex and not have any surgery or drugs. There's plenty of organic stuff out there. There's total organic stuff out there. Can help you out and give you a little breast and or give you some hair on your face, whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that won't permanently hurt your body until you're ready to really make that decision. So why not explore them? At least go on a test drive. What's the rush? Elon Musk said Starship SN20 will use the REVAC engine, the giant Raptor vacuum engine. Is that real? I don't know what that is. All right, I guess. Hunter Biden on addiction. My life is not a tabloid. Well, if yours isn't, I mean, who's... it sounds like a tabloid to me. Let's see. Drugs, check. Hooker, check. Naked photos of yourself, check. Allegedly a Pornhub site. I don't know if that was ever real, but it seemed like it was real. I mean, his pictures were on it, check. I mean, how much lower can you sink, Hunter? I mean, I guess they haven't found any bodies yet in your backyard, but that's... from the American Thinker, maybe Coke should be canceled for its Nazi past. Oh. Did they send Coke to the Nazis? I don't remember that. Oh, let's click over there. Because that sounds crazy. Coca-Cola's discriminatory employee training program. Yep, we knew about that. Let's see. Did you know that Nazi Germany was one of Coca-Cola's biggest markets? Ooh, there's... Oh my God! Wow, where did they dig up that sign? Oh, that's a bad sign, Coke. Have you ever seen the official Coca-Cola advertisement promoting the company's partnership with the Nazis during the 1936 Olympics under a jingoistic tagline, "One people, one country, one drink, Coke is it"? Ooh, ouch, Coke. Ouch. I guess that's what you get for being that old of a company. Jesus, I had no idea. I had no idea Coke. I mean, I knew Coke was around in that time. I had no idea they actually marketed to Nazis. Well, Coke is done. Ha! Take that, woke tards. Take that. So now you got to ban Coke. Oh, there was a perfect example of Biden stupidity. There was they brought the Easter Bunny to the White House during a press conference, and it was just about the dumbest thing ever. Jen Psaki's there, having a person in an Easter Bunny costume give out chocolate eggs to the reporters. I mean, I couldn't think of a more pathetic, lame attempt to bribe reporters. And the sad thing is, it probably worked. I mean, those reporters are so childlike and stupid. I'm sure a little chocolate would be more than enough to get them on their side. Oh man, everybody's talking about the MLB. Texas Rangers to play a full capacity crowd over 38,000. Good for you, Texas. Yeah, they're done. They're done with this. Family sues after California man dies in taco eating contest. Oh my God. I didn't realize you could die from eating tacos. I'm lucky to be alive. 18-year-old Marshall Hutchings filed lawsuit Monday alleging his father, Dana Hutchings, was not made aware of the risk and dangers involved in eating competition. I don't know. You sound like you're on weak legal standing there, but I'm not a lawyer. I mean, hey, I did that eating contest, and you could really go back in my videos and find me eating that hot dog, or the 2 giant hot dogs. I thought I was going to die. I did think I was going to die. And I regret it, and I haven't done one of those since. Never again. Never again. It was way too much food, and and this is me saying that, and I love food. I love food. But let me tell you something. I thought I was going to die. For about 2 hours, I had had my ex drive me home. I just laid in the back seat going, oh, God, what have I done? You know, later I was fine, but Jesus. Question of discrimination. WHO dismisses COVID passports as governments considered them to reopen travel. Well, if the WHO isn't even on board with the passports, what are you doing? This was an interesting story. Dubai police arrest group of women who were filmed posing naked on a skyscraper balcony. Yeah, that's the Middle East. They're very conservative. 200 woke companies oppose voter ID laws while requiring them. Yeah. I mean, you ever try to get into a major corporation's building? They require ID. A lot of times you got to sign in with the doorman. That's security. That's a lot of that's from 9/11, but you can't get into one of these major buildings, one of these major offices without some sort of ID. They want to know who's coming in case you do something crazy. Yeah, they're total hypocrites, I think, in doing this. Let's see. Most of these we covered yesterday. MLB. Ooh, poll. President Biden's disapproval rises to 51%, and I assume, and that's Rasmutin, I assume they're gaming it to make him not look that bad. I mean, come on. What has Biden done that's good at this point? Other than not be Trump, what has he done? What has he done that's good? Everything he does has been bad. Everything he's done. White House struggles to explain why Biden's months late on budget. Yeah, because he can't deliver on all the things he promised, and he's going to get blasted for it. The woke left is going to go bananas when they see the budget, and they see that he just ignored. He'll just have to ignore it. I'll tell you what he should have ignored: the border. The border was fine. Like, talk about the one thing Trump definitely did well: shearing up the border. Biden could have ignored that and, like, I don't know, done some climate change BS, right? Mandated recycling or whatever. Like, that kind of stuff. And then you could say, well, we're going to tackle the border soon or whatever. Oh no, day one. Day one. Meanwhile, Senate parliamentarian, I didn't even know we had a Senate parliamentarian, okays Biden to pass legislation without filibuster. That is going to be a disaster. And this one, holy F. Holy F. I'm going to go to the story because it's just crazy. Man strangles Burger King worker after arguing over mask rules. Authorities believe the man returned to the New Jersey restaurant to attack the employee after getting into an argument over not wearing a mask. This is in Wayne. He assaulted, apparently, a female employee. While the March 27 incident is still being investigated, the man got into an argument with the workers at the same Burger King earlier that day over not wearing a mask. So, not good. Yeah, this is New Jersey. We're a powder keg. We're a freaking powder keg. Because people have been cooped up, and Governor Murphy can't understand why everybody's mad at him. He's changing the rules on how they're calculating all the beer virus tests. Why is everybody so upset? Because you're a fraud, Murphy. That's why. And you're a tyrant, and we can't stand you. So, do not vote for Murphy. And finally, Exgate staffer says FBI approached him with baseless allegations, pushes back against DOJ probe, as well as Saturday Night Live skewering Matt Gaetz during Scandal and Weekend Update. I mean, who cares at this point? You read this, again, wokeness has killed comedy. Saturday Night Live, you read about it now or you see one of their sketches, it's like, what happened? Where's the comedy? What happened to just going after people? I mean, you're going after Gaetz. Okay. These allegations aren't even all that credible. Okay? There's already a report saying that his father wore a wire for the FBI because they were being extorted in some way. That's an indication that maybe these allegations aren't true, and maybe that the blackmailers are trying to push back. I mean, at least it's an indication. You know? The problem is, I think, it's just like everybody else in media. They're lazy, okay? So you got these lazy comedy writers. They're reading the same woke idiot media from all the major networks and going, oh, this is what's happening. This is what everybody's thinking about. First off, who the hell watches TV news anymore? People in their 80s? I don't even know people who watch TV anymore. I mean, it used to be TV was a thing. TV before the internet was the internet. That's how you got information. It was quick. It was quicker than newspapers and reading. So we watched TV. Now we have the internet. We don't need TV anymore. TV is almost vestigial at this point. So, you know, you're going to make jokes about stuff you heard on the TV news on CNN? Don Lemon? You trust Don Lemon that he's giving you the facts? Look at the ratings on CNN. Look at the ratings of these news. Nobody's watching it anymore. You need common ground to make jokes. You can't find that on television. You can only find that on the internet. Maybe. And even those audiences are so atomized. It's really tough. It's really tough to find out now who's popular and who's not on the internet. Thanks, YouTube and Google and all you algorithm gamers. So you guys are getting pushed into the bubble too. And then you're writing the comedy about the bubble you're in. And then you wonder, well, why isn't anybody watching our show? It's because you idiots are writing comedy for the bubble. And the bubble is small. And it's not edgy. It's edgy for the bubble, I guess. If I was in the bubble, I guess I'd be like, oh, that's so edgy. Oh my. Heavens to Murgatroyd. It's not edgy anymore. You know what you have to do to be edgy on the internet? Well, you've seen the internet, right? Or maybe you're just stuck in your corner of it. How old are these writers? Or are they these woke idiots? Used to be only 40-year-old, 50-year-old geezers like me would be writing comic books and comedy, and you'd be like, oh man, another hippie joke? Come on. Now it's like they got young people, but they're so woke, their comedy sucks. The comedy sucks. Your comedy blows. So, I don't know, fire all these people? Here's what you do. Hire everybody that the American public seems to be pissed off at in the bubble. Those will be the funny guys. He's louder with Crowder. Everybody's pissed off at him. He'd be a perfect guy. He'd be perfect for Saturday Night Live. He'd be absolutely perfect. Everybody would be riveted to the show. If Louder, he wouldn't be a cast member now, I don't think, but he'd certainly be a good host. People would go absolutely bananas, and it would be the highest rated show ever. Not because Crowder's particularly funny. He's okay. He's okay. I've seen better than Crowder. He's all right. He's getting better as I watch him. He gets a little funnier, but he is part of the zeitgeist, part of the real zeitgeist. He has millions of followers. Some of these guys you put on Saturday Night Live, I mean, the guy who hosted, he was the star of Get Out and something else, I forget. Now he's a movie star. A lot of people know him, but I don't think a lot of people follow him. He's merely one of the celebrities. A long line of actors. It's not like back in the day in the 70s when Christopher effing Lee hosted Saturday Night Live, and people were blown away. And this is before the Star Wars stuff. So this was because he was like the last great horror guy, right? This was like, the guy who would play Dracula was going to be on the show. He was a horror icon. And that was an amazing guest. Because people were like, whoa, I got to watch that. Christopher Lee is going to host Saturday Night Live? This old actor, this very distinguished actor, he's going to be on the show with these crazy maniacs who do all this subversive humor. Now who do you got? Oh, yeah, this guy's going to be in a movie, and he's hosting the show, and they're going to do a bunch of woke comedy with the woke idiots who are already on the show. That sound great? So, that's Saturday Night Live, unfortunately. I mean, even, and then, I hate to circle back to this, as they say, but Sarah Silverman, right? I mean, she had I didn't like her show, but her show was pretty subversive, I gotta say. It was subversive for its time. On Comedy Central, she was at least trying to do subversive things. I think she was vulgar just for the sense of it, but, and even she turned on her own comedy. And now she kind of sort of regrets it. Of course. Yeah, she's finally getting flack for it. Oh, man. Saturday Night Live. It just kills me every time. Every time an article comes out, I just go, damn it. You ruined this show. Just cancel it. Just cancel it and be done with it. Just get rid of it. We need to be rid of these old things. Just get rid of these old things in media, please, so something new can erupt. Something awesome. If, the woke idiots don't kill it in its crib.